Welcome to this Sports Showcase event on Hartford TV. I'm Ray Ruse, and I'm subbing for Don Morrison. And we're at Patterson Mill High School for an early season boys Chesapeake Division game between the home-standing Patterson Mill Huskies and the visiting Fallston Cougars. Currently, Fallston hasn't had it. This is their first game, and Patterson Mill is 1-0. With me is my broadcast partner and longtime coach, Bob McCone. Bob, I'm excited to see these two teams in an early season matchup. What are your thoughts?
I think it's going to be it should be a very good game. The problem, my concern is that both of the teams are really young. Fallston has one starter back basically, and Patterson Mill has two starters back from their teams last year. Fallston was like 14-8, I think you said, right?
Yeah.
Last year, and 10-2 in the conference, and they had a very good year. Patterson Mill was 22-3, and they went to the Elite Four and got beat by Edmondson in the Elite Four, and but they have a couple kids back, and so they're bringing up Fallston had a very good JV team last year, so they're bringing some kids up from there. Patterson Mill had a pretty good JV team. They're excited about those kids, so that's the unknown in this game.
Yes.
Patterson Mill beat Northeast 77-41 in their only game that they played this year, and as you said, Fallston has not played yet, so that's where we're at.
The Patterson Mill team seems to have another good JV team again. So they've been very good the last few years of feeding players up each year, and that's an important factor. We just saw the end of the JV game in which Patterson Mill won. So they seem to have a little bit more experience with players coming up, maybe getting a little bit of time at the end of a season and being ready for the next season.
Patterson Mill has had an outstanding program since Jarrett took over and the school opened 14 years ago. And sometimes when you get programs like that, you actually kind of just reload because the kids keep coming through, our basketball players. And Jarrett's a very, very good coach. So you put those two things together, and it'll never surprise you that his JV teams are loaded.
And if I'm correct, I was told that Jarrett has been their first and only coach here in school history. He started the team when they had the new school thing where they had to start as a JV, then became a varsity.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
So also with Jared, we have assistant coaches Terry Hansroth, Sean Luddy, Eric Rosling, and Josh Rosling. Let's see if we're getting ready to do our anthem here.
Good evening and welcome to Husky Nation for tonight's contest between the visiting Cougars of Fallston High School and your Patterson Mill Huskies. During the game, cheer loudly for your team, but please show respect for players, coaches, officials, and all those around you at all times. And now, introducing the Cougars starting lineup. Sophomore guard, number 10, Evan Alcidi. Senior guard, number 23, Dylan Kreis. Junior forward, number 30, Max Rickard. Junior forward, number 35, Paul Beck. And junior guard, number 11, Nate Decker. Cougars are coached by head coach Brian Holgo, assisted by Gary Wood. And now for your Patterson Mill Huskies.
Fallston threw a surprise on us there.
Theo Droyer.
Had to find out if we have an injured player or not later.
Number 5, Jackson Wheeler. Junior guard, number 12, Drew Pate. Junior forward, number 14, Colin Reynolds. And freshman guard, number 21, Kai Gibson. The Huskies are coached by head coach Jared Clark, assisted by Terry Hansel, Sean Buddy, Eric Robson, and Josh Ryan. And now, if you please rise
a little technical difficulties here, Bob.
Seems like it. Here comes the head coach to take care. He's also the athletic director here at Patterson Mills. So
it's a tough dual role to do. There's only a handful of them in the county that are doing that. Actually, the athletic director for Fallston, Chris Hoover, is also
his soccer coach. Yeah. Yep. It's an
unsung job.
It absolutely is, and they don't really get a lot of time to do the job.
No.
So
most cases they give them 1 period a day to do that. You have to admire these small schools, Bob, that are able to put out good programs, because they obviously do not have the same numbers to draw from for their athletes. And I was talking to one of the athletic directors before the game, actually, and both head coaches, and they said pleasantly to me that a decent amount of these boys, young men, play 2 or 3 sports.
Right. The other factor is that it depends on where the schools are and who surrounds them in the neighborhoods, because you can be in certain places in a very small school and you can have the best athletes around, and you may not have a lot of them, but
right.
You can have a solid number of them, and so it, you know, it's as they say, it's not necessarily the X's and O's, but the Jimmies and the Joes who's playing.
Yes, it is.
And who you can recruit from.
You can only coach what you got, right?
Exactly.
So refereeing for us tonight, we have Linwood Floyd and Steve Salters. Looks like we have the Huskies winning the toss here.
I see Coach Clark is also the technical director. He got the national anthem up for us and has us on the way here.
Has to wear a lot of hats. I'm going to be interested to see what defenses we line up in here. I think in talking to the Fallston head coach, he said that they're probably going to be doing a lot of straight man-to-man.
And that's unusual for them. Brian actually has brought that to Fallston. You know, Fallston has always been known to play a 2-3 zone or a 3-2 zone, and you know, I'm really happy to see them in the man.
Hey, we've had a couple turnovers here early for Patterson Mill.
Yeah, one unforced and one with a little pressure. And Patterson Mill's in a 2-2-1 full court now. And that's the way you beat it, middle of the sidelines and then up.
Good defense. That was good hustle right there by Drew Pape.
Yeah.
Could have been a layup. Drew has the ball now.
Kvek just missed a shot. He's a very, very good basketball player. Better baseball player, but really pretty good basketball player.
I think we got to travel here.
Early in the year, we're going to have a few of these turnovers. And it's also a great time to press because teams aren't used to handling pressure at this particular point. That was Drew Pape with the basketball for Patterson Mill. He was best player from back from last year's team. Averaged about 11.5 points a game last year.
His older brother Will is here cheering him on tonight. He was a good player for the team as well in recent years. Basketball family. Mom coached them, helped run programs.
Now Fallston goes into their 2-3 zone for out of bounds. Fallston rebound there. That was Dylan Kreis on the rebound.
Yeah.
Dylan's a player back from, he's the player who played last year for Fallston, and Coach Hulkos thinks that he's a great leader, an excellent player, and very, very happy to have him back.
Yeah, he said he's going to rely on him very heavily.
It's nice movement on the Patterson Mill part.
Yes, it is.
Wide open three.
First outside shot.
Nice strong rebound.
Dylan looks
by
like
Evan
he's got
Alcee,
a one-on-one. My. Talk about in and out.
You wonder how come the rim Met doesn't suck that ball down through.
That's one of those they say that was halfway down before it came back out again.
Takes a certain spin. Oh, there was a wide open three that he didn't even look.
Yeah. Well, we're a
Nice.
few minutes into the game and we haven't had a score yet.
Gonna have one now. Oh, I thought that was in the basket.
Yeah, these are the kind you kind of look back and say, oh man, I should have had that one.
Well, I can understand Fallston a little bit. They haven't played yet, but
Yeah.
Patterson Mill played the other day, and so you know they should be ready to go. Patterson Mill runs a really nice 1-3-1 or 1-2-1 man motion offense. A lot of rub screens, and the kid who sets a screen pops looking for a shot.
Look for Will Pape to definitely do more driving like that and try to draw some
Drew
fouls.
Pape, yeah.
Drew Pape.
Yeah.
I called him his older brother's name. I'm going to hear that later.
Look up, oh my gosh, nice pass. I tell you, the kid that's been aggressive for Fallston on the boards is number 10, Evan Alcee. He's a running back on their starting running back on the football team, and he's a 10th grader. And he's a physical young man, and he works really, really hard. Tough kid.
Well, you know as well as I do that aggression is one thing, but one thing that makes rebounders really good is anticipation. You know, reading the shot, knowing where to get position. He seems to be doing a good job of that.
A lot of that's just instinct for kids. They play a lot. They just, you know, you have a feel where the ball's coming off and you get there.
So we look like we have a few foul shots coming here for.
And a lot of kids think that you have to jump high to get a rebound. You don't really. You have to be quick.
Yes.
The kid who gets the ball first gets the ball.
Another in and out.
Maybe they did something to these baskets between games because there was a lot of scoring on one side in the first game.
Still scoreless, but we got an offensive rebound here.
Nice pass.
Nice pass, very nice.
Nice pass.
That was number 21, Kai Gibson.
Yeah, he's a 9th grader. It's
that's unusual in a boys varsity sport.
It's unusual in basketball, I can tell you that.
Yes. And some second chances here. Fallston seems a little reluctant to take the outside shot right now. They've had a couple open looks. See if Kai can. That was good. That was good defense.
It was. He pushed him to his weak side hand, and he just didn't have enough strength to get that shot up
That was
in a good manner.
Max Ruckert.
Rickard, yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Oh, couldn't see who.
I want to find out. That was Dylan Kreis. I want to know if Dylan actually called that glass.
Hey, luck is your best friend sometimes, Bob.
It helps. I know that. I felt both sides of it, and I'd rather have the luck.
Okay, nice rebound. There's our first Fallston outside shot. Well,
So
good hustle.
Dylan Kreis is left-handed, huh?
Yeah.
And there's
Nice.
Kvek
Nice.
on the follow-up. The thing about Kvek is that I understand as a sophomore, he was an all-state baseball player. That he's an outstanding baseball player. You know, and they say he's a pretty decent basketball player, and you know, it looks like he looks very strong in his upper body, and he has some length up there. So all of that's positives for both baseball and basketball.
Yeah, but we were saying some of these kids have to be multi-athletes, and you know, you got Kyle Sturgis, point guard. He's a receiver on the football team.
You
You've
mean
got Dylan Kreis, and he's...
Yeah, we're talking about the Fallston players now.
Yes, yes I am. And he's soccer, basketball, and he wants to pursue soccer or basketball in college. So that'll be interesting. These seniors and juniors are at that important stage of their life where they're deciding on what school they're going to go to next.
Well, the biggest crisis is what school's coming in for them next. You know, if any. I mean, that's the, you know, everybody has a dream, and unfortunately sometimes it takes two to tango, and if you don't have that, you know, school coming in and recruiting you, it's kind of tough to find a place to go.
You also have to decide if you want to be the big fish in the little sea or the little fish in the big sea.
And that's if you have that option.
Yes.
I mean, I coach at the Division III basketball level for a lot of years, and I could tell you a number of players that I wouldn't recruit because they just weren't good enough. And it shocks people because they think that kid is, you know, such a great player. And
so we had a foul on the floor. Nice inbound. There you go. Drew Pape on the layup on the inbound pass. Very nice. He has very good. Drew Pape has very good control in the air.
Yeah. What Drew did, which was really good, was he saw the hole and he cut into the hole, into the open space, and they gave him the ball, and then he had the control to take it and make the basket. That was a very nice play by, and a great look by both the out-of-bounds guy and Drew. Here comes Drew again with the basketball.
Let's see what he does here. Nice effort. Nice layup. Nice layup.
Kyle Sturgis.
Yes.
Or Cale Sturgis. I want to get to Kyle.
Did a good job of protecting the ball there before he got the layup.
Yep. So Fallston's working very hard in their man defense. I'm glad to see them play man. It's a lot of teams don't want to play because you have to coach it. Nice.
Again.
Nice look, nice run.
Mackay.
Stephen Lloydell.
I had number 4, Mackay Fields on that basket.
Yeah. He's a senior. No, it was number 4.
Oops, I have a wrong name here.
Yeah. You're on Fallston's roster.
I might add. Well, that's
oh no, sorry. It was Whoa, take that. It was Mackay Fields.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep.
I'm on the wrong roster. Get it straight, Bob.
So we have a little bit, you know, I would have probably given Patterson Mill a little bit more experience edge here, but they're down 4-9.
I'm giving the Fallston players a lot of credit right now. I mean, they're very disciplined. They're working very, very hard defensively. They've created a number of turnovers to this point. And I can see some steam coming out of Coach Clark's ears here because he doesn't think his kids are executing the way he thinks they should be. Now, that was a nice pick and roll between Kai Gibson and Colin Reynolds. And Reynolds here is getting the 2 free throws, and he's just made the first.
Looking like he's the tallest player on Patterson Mill. Bob, give him a little bit of height down low.
Yeah, Jackson Wheeler's close, and Drew Pape, you know, they're all about the same size, those 3. There's a nice 3-point jumper.
Then you got
And that's your boy,
Mackay
McKay Fields again.
Okay, yeah. So to have a point guard at 6'4" with Drew Pape, what an advantage that is. I mean, not very common in high school.
Yeah.
But he's a fast 6'4".
Well, my thing about a point guard is, are you going to make everybody better around you? Or are you going to draw them all in? And are you going to get them to play together? And I don't care if you're 5'4", or 5'3", like Muggsy Bogues was, or you're 6'8", like Magic Johnson was. It's what you do with the team. And right now, this freshman point guard for
that was a good putback by Colin Reynolds.
The freshman point guard for Patterson Mill is doing a nice job, and Mackay Fields is doing a nice job, or McKay Fields doing a nice job for Fallston. Stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, he hustled for that rebound, but just stepped out.
It's 12-7 here. Favor of the Fallston Cougars.
Let's see if they're going to get last shot here and pull it out for about 5-6 seconds before they put it up.
Fields to Sturgis.
They're going to have to
He traveled. Well, Christ got it caught on his hip, and I don't know if it was a travel, but it looked like it.
So now you got to see what you can do at 5.2 seconds here. Do you throw?
Plenty of time.
Yeah.
You got plenty of time. You could dribble the length of the floor on that and get a good shot off. They're in their man now.
So here we are at the end of the first quarter, and fairly close game, 12-7, Fallston. A lot of balls in and out of the bucket there.
Yes, a lot of turnovers early in the game. A lot of missed shots early in the game. I think maybe they're settling down now, but Fallston's defense is playing very well.
Yes, they are.
And Brian has done a very nice job of teaching them to play that way. The only, if I were Coach Clark, it looks to me like you can run a high pick and roll off of that top screen.
Yes.
And maybe you can get that second man. They've done it twice, and they got fouled both times that they did that. So, I'd run a little more high pick and screens, or maybe on the wing pick and screens, the pick and rolls, and getting some easy baskets.
The other thing I would think they might want to do is Drew Pape is definitely showing the ability to drive, but it's almost like some of his teammates are just watching him drive instead of maybe taking a step left or right for a quick dump off pass for a layup.
Well, I think what's happening there is that the Fallston defenders are getting off their kid into the lane, and Drew, if he doesn't have that shot right away, or he doesn't have the whole lane to the basket, he needs to stop and look to the outside and kick. Get his head up and then make that quick pass.
Definitely.
All right, we've got number 33 for Fallston, Drew Hobson, in the basketball game now.
Now it shows you how old I am, Bob. I coached his father.
Is it who, Drew Hobson's?
Yes.
Well, that means I probably could have coached his grandfather. I mean,
he and his father is very involved with Fallston basketball, coaching teams, commissioner of program. How often do you see the successful athlete coming from the parent that was willing to give back to the program and the community? Very often.
Well, I usually see a young person who was heavily involved in things and for the right reasons, and makes himself not only a better athlete but a better person.
They sank the second basket there from McKay Fields.
We got a large crowd here from Patterson Mill students, but they're not involved yet. I haven't heard them really getting into it. So
I think Fallston's had a little bit to do with that. Almost. Okay, Drew Pape drawing the foul.
Yeah, it was excellent defense by Fallston. They got 2 missed shots. What they didn't get is the rebounds, and you can't give a team 3 shots at the basket.
Drew Pape was a little bit upset there. He thought he got fouled on the shot, but they got him right before he pulled the shot up. Long pass. Pulling it back out
Sturgis
top
with
again.
the basketball. You know, Patterson Mill's also playing man tonight, and Jarrett's, when he started out, Patterson Mill played man for a number of years, and then they went to zone for a few years, and I used to give him heck for that. Now he's back playing man, and is
All the way, yeah, nice pass.
it's a nice look by Pape, nice layup by Jackson Wheeler.
Yes. Turned his head just in time to see that coming.
Yeah. One thing when you're playing man is that you really have to keep your head on a swivel. You really have to see both the man and the ball, or a pass can go right past your ear to the guy you're guarding for a layup, like it just happened there.
Number 20, Josh Shores, is in the game now. Josh is a three-sport athlete. He's first-team All-County volleyball, honorable mention lacrosse. Very good team player in everything he does.
Strong-looking young man.
Yes.
Speaking of strong-looking young men, oh, nice pass. Colin Reynolds with the pass.
Wheeler on another basket.
Yeah, Colin Reynolds he looks like he has strength. Quebec had a nice post up, just didn't put the ball in the basket.
Yeah, that was a nice rebound by Colin Reynolds.
I've got to say some nice things about Drew Pape right now. He's really playing now with his head up, and he's in control of the basketball now. They've put him back at point guard. He wasn't in the beginning of the game at point guard. They put him back at point guard, and now he's playing inside, but on the break, he seems to handle the ball coming down the court.
Well, it's nice when you can get somebody that strong to get a defensive rebound and be able to come up court, because he has great ball handling skills.
Playing volleyball, he finally,
Yes, they
Fallston
are.
got a defensive rebound. Can't stand under the basket. You got to back up. You got to back people out of there. You don't want to stand next to people and try to out-jump them. Put them on your back. Make them have to go over you.
Short shot.
Yeah,
Pape with another rebound.
that was Rickard on the shot.
Oops. Out of bounds.
You got a break there. It looked like it was a little out of control.
Yeah.
You can run as fast as you want till you get to the top of the key. From that point down, you've got to break it down so you're in control and can see everything. Swing it. Nice look. There it goes.
Nice inside, outside.
Yeah.
They call that
Nice.
a Euro step nowadays, don't they?
Close. The Euro step's actually a longer step than that. The Europeans have taught the Americans a lot about basketball, going back to when the Russians beat the Americans when John Thompson was coaching them. They taught us how to screen zones, how to throw over the top against zones, which we were never allowed to do because it was against all the rules of basketball in this country.
Calling offensive foul there, and quietly the Huskies have tied this game back up, Bob.
It's been a nice run for them. They've played under control, which is really key. And Colin Luddy has come in and he's settled them down a bit too.
Three-point attempt, yes. And
It's Jackson Wheeler again.
He's
Nice
scored,
shot right there.
I think he scored 7 of the last 9 points.
It always helps when you can have somebody take control. That's
Another
a nice shot
three.
right there. That's Quebec right there.
Yes.
Hey, Brian Hulka, Coach Hulka told me he was a shooter. If you get him outside by himself, he can knock that three down.
So we couldn't make a basket for a while there, Bob, and now we're just
Now we
dropping
can't stop
it.
anybody, huh? All right, the big guy setting the screen. I like that. Ooh, there was a nice roll and good defense by Quebec. Ooh, that was a travel. Oh, calling for a foul? Yep.
You know, he couldn't quite see it. He might have caught his foot there a little bit, made him stumble.
I think
Like
he might have bumped him and knocked him a little bit forward for that. Okay, Fallston's getting Christ back in the ball, or not Christ. Who was that number? Oh, Sturgis back in the ball game here for Al CD.
Kanye Stevens just checked in for Patterson Mill, number 1.
Good.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
we have possibly our first lead for the Huskies.
Yeah.
I can't remember if they got the first bucket or not. Made 2, very nice.
Luddy has done a really nice job for them, and Jackson Wheeler's had a nice little run for them.
Normally the high school boys varsity would be playing the Friday night games, Bob, but tomorrow's a half day of school.
Yeah.
So that's why we're seeing the Thursday night game.
We're going to see another one in January, too. Oh, no, I'm sorry. In December, still, we're going to see another one.
Yeah.
Before the week before Christmas. I've been impressed with the calmness of Colin Luddy.
He seems to have slowed him down a little bit, making him not rush so much.
Yeah, we've got 10 seconds now. Ooh. Who did he call? 14, I guess.
14?
Yep. Looks like it was Colin Reynolds. He called on the foul when setting the screen.
Yeah, I think he set a legal pick there.
Yeah. He's got the body to set screens, man. He's got a good, thick body to pound people a little bit.
Got a little down low action here.
Oh, nice play. Nice post up.
That was number 30, Max
Rickard, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Very calm.
Nice turnaround. Got the ball up in the air so it couldn't get blocked. There goes that 5-man motion now. Bang!
Nice shot by Drew. Drew Pape on the 3.
Boy, he took that lead step, that jab step at the man, and the man took a half a step back, and that's all Drew needed to get that clean look off.
That was smooth.
Ooh, it's a nice drive. There's Rickard again on the drive. That was a split 2 people. All right, we have a 24, Jake Matson in for basketball game for Patterson Mill for first time. And looks like number 1, Kanye Stevens in also.
Patterson Mill showing some good defense here. Outside shot, no. Nice, nice.
That's Rickard again. He's having a nice little stretch here for Fallston.
Got 2 minutes left in the half, Bob. Got a nice 1-point game here.
Colin Luddy with the basketball over to Wheeler. Kanye Stevens with the ball. Now Pape has it.
Follow. Yep.
When you're playing man defense like that, somebody shoots the basketball, you can't leave your man and run to the basket. You have to block the kid out, let the ball come to you. And that's how Patterson Mill got that rebound and had an extra shot.
Long 3.
If we were playing outdoors, we'd have rain now on that shot. That was Decker.
All the way in to the basket. Drew wanted the end one there, but he didn't get it.
Nice play.
Timeout, Fallston.
Timeout. Price coming back in the ball game here for the last minutes.
I don't think Coach liked that transition defense too much, Bob. Drew was able to go pretty much most of the court and get all the way to the basket.
Well, it's the responsibilities of the wings to step in and stop that inside drive. But they also then have to be fast enough that if the person passes the ball out to the guy they're playing, that they recover. So you're helping, and then you're getting back and you're recovering, and you're doing it in such a way that the guy doesn't fake and go by you, or he doesn't have an open jump shot. It's very difficult to be the help man, and it's very difficult to help recover when you're playing man. So
yeah, we got a replay here. There's Drew driving in.
Oh, there's the hole right there.
He did get a little body on him, but the refs didn't think it was enough. Well, I will tell you one thing I'm interested in, Bob, is to see the depth of the teams, because if you notice in the first quarter, starters played most of the first quarter. We've had a lot more subbing this quarter, but it's been the same
In
2 to 3 players.
in high school, the starters play a lot, unless you're really deep. You know, there were some years that the Patterson Mills, and even though it's a small school, but the C. Milton Wrights, I mean, when I coached at Aberdeen, we could play 12 kids and it was fine because,
Right.
you know, I had that many that could play. There were years Joppatown, you know, had a number of players like that. Edgewood had depth a lot of years.
We got a 3 here. Good rebound. Number 24.
Yeah, that's Jake Matson, the substitute who came in. I guess his job was to rebound, play defense, and he went up and got a rebound. And the only thing I would have asked him to do was, instead of shooting right away, was give a pump fake, get the guy in the air and shoot it and get fouled. But he's off the line now.
Well, Jake's a starting lineman for the football team, so I wouldn't want to go up against him on the rebound. And he also plays on the lacrosse team.
Yeah, he looks like a starting lineman on and he looks like a lacrosse player. But a free throw shooter, we have to work on that.
Yes.
Here comes Sturgis with the basketball.
No travel there. How many games are won and lost at the free throw line? You know?
A lot more than people think.
Yes.
I mean, in high school basketball, if your team shoots 67% from the free throw line, you're at least average, if not a bit better than average. You know, you need to knock down free throws into 70% to be a good free throw shooting team. Here comes the fake, and oh.
That's the foul he's been waiting to get. Let's see how Drew can put his foul shots down.
0.2 of a second. He get up this lead to 5 if he makes both of these.
So Jackson Wheeler from Patterson Mill also plays baseball, and we talked about the 3 two sport stars. Matt Bechtel is the starting goalie on the soccer team that just went to the state final, lost a heartbreaker.
Well, that's halftime.
Yes. So here we are at the end of the first half. We have a 4-point lead for the Huskies. I think they were down by as much as 7. Or?
It was 12-4, I think, at one point, and it was 12-7 at another point.
Yeah.
And then from that point on, Patterson Mill has gotten back into the game and kind of taken a little bit of control. I like the fact that both teams are working very hard in their man defense. You know, missing some shots. Particularly early. Late in the basketball game, we've had Jackson Wheeler have a very good stretch to help Patterson Mill. Jason Luddy came off the bench, or Colin Luddy came off the bench for Patterson Mill, gave them some props. Max Reichert had a very good push at the end for Fallston. McKay Fields had an excellent point for them. What we're really waiting for is Dylan Kreis for Fallston to get into the basketball game and play at the level he's capable of playing at.
Yes, we are.
So
we've had a great first half, and we will be back in a few minutes for the second half. Here we are back in the beginning of the second half at the Patterson Mill Fallston game. I'm Ray Ruse, and I'm with Bob McCone. Very, very good first half. Started off with runs, which is not uncommon in basketball. Patterson Mill came out pretty good. Fallston took the lead. It looked like they were frustrating Patterson Mill. Coach Jared probably figured things out on that sideline at the end of this first quarter, made some adjustments, and they're doing really well. So a recap of the first half here. A little bit more balanced scoring on Fallston. We have Fields with 6 points. He has 2-pointer, 3-pointer, and 1 free throw. Chris has a 3-pointer, and Quebec has 5 points with a 2 and a 3. We do have Alcide Looks like he might have 4 fouls, so coach is going to have to watch that. That's going to be a little bit hard on their team. For Patterson Mill, Wheeler has 7 points, Pape has 10, Reynolds has 5, and Luddy has 2. So it looks to me, Bob, that they're going to have to figure out a way to stop the Pape Wheeler show here.
Yeah, but I think that one of the keys to that was Luddy coming in and being totally under control and really helping Drew with the basketball, you know, and slowing things down for them and getting them a better chance to attack the Fallston defense. Fallston, on the other hand, has been still competitive, even though they lost that lead. You know, they haven't gone away. They're playing very, very hard. And, you know, LCD, who's hustled very much for them, 4 fouls, if that's accurate, is concerning. And, you know, only 3 scorers. You'd like to have a few more guys kicking in with them.
Well, and you've coached many games. It's a tough position to be in as a coach to have one of your good players with 4 fouls. Do you start them out the second half, and do you tell them to play softer?
Well,
you know Patterson Mill's going to attack them.
Well, if I'm Brian Hope, I guess I do, because he's getting ready to throw the ball in bounds.
Okay.
So, I mean,
well,
and I don't know if those 4 fouls are accurate, because we've got them from, you know, we're really not sure at this particular point. We'll know on the next foul.
Yes, we will. And
there's Quebec, who can shoot the 3.
Another rebound.
And the big body of Reynolds.
Yeah. So now what'll be interesting to see is how much Patterson Mill goes at him.
It was a nice pass.
Yes, it was.
I hate to see it. Kai Gibson makes a nice pass, the 9th grade point guard, and Colin Reynolds misses the shot, which he doesn't normally do. But, you know, you want your 9th graders. If your 9th graders playing for you,
now
you want him to have success.
He got ran down on that one, but very impressive that he getting that steal there. I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed with Kai Gibson's composure as a freshman.
Yeah, he just lost the ball there and had a couple things he'd like to take back. But being a freshman, you're going to make those mistakes, and you learn from them. This is only his 2nd game, so, you know, he's looking at a very good career ahead of him. See, there's LCD right there with the steal.
And the layup.
You can't make that far a pass.
Yeah, cross-court passing.
When a defender has an inside lane to you.
Yes.
Especially LCD being a football player, being a running back. He's going to have the quickness to get to those passes.
So it looks like Patterson Mill's not swinging the ball as much as they did in their first couple possessions here. Two turnovers.
See, there's a nice pass right there, wide open.
23. Gosh, Kai's in there getting rebounds and everything.
Well, hold on now. This foul is on number 11. Okay. On Decker, Nate Decker. So.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else had more than 2 fouls at the time, so they're probably okay. I didn't see anybody in Patterson Mill in foul trouble. Pape on another drive, drawing another foul. Drew Pape has a very quick burst of speed.
He does. Well, first of all, he's tall and he's got long legs. He's taking that first step is long. But the next defender over on either side, it's their responsibility to step in on that and jam him so he cannot continue, and make him throw the pass to the guy they're defending so they can recover deep and get on him. And, you know, they're letting him get by. They're not stopping that. And he's getting to shoot free throws.
Made the second one, extended lead to 3. You watch these defenders, Bob, and
LCD with the basketball makes the pass, and Kai Gibson gets it.
That's a push.
And if that's a foul on LCD right here, we'll see which foul it is.
Yeah, that's a frustrating foul there too for him.
That's his 5th. That's his 5th foul. He's done.
Well, let's see here. They haven't set it at the table yet.
Yes, they have. He's done.
Okay.
They're going to bring Matt K. Fields in.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate foul because it didn't affect the play.
And it was like football. I mean, he just shoved the kid. And, you know, in basketball, you got to let it go because you're inside. The officials aren't far from you, and you shove a kid like that, the officials don't miss that. You have to have some control.
It was a pretty good pass inside, but the ball just wasn't handled. On the floor.
I believe if he'd have made that shot, it would have counted. I guess maybe they didn't even call it a shot. Maybe they said he fouled him.
He pointed to the floor, which I'm assuming is
wow.
down on the floor. I thought it was in the play.
Wow. No, he was in the air when
yeah.
That was definitely a shot.
But once again, basketball is probably the sport that I would least want to referee.
It's a difficult sport to officiate because it's quicker than most sports.
Oh. That was unfortunate.
It was.
He really wasn't trying to foul. They were both just going for the ball. And
yeah. Well, he lost the ball when he wanted to go get it back.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. And that's his second foul. So
I think Coach Clark is letting Kai Gibson handle the ball a little bit more to take a little bit of the pressure off of Drew Pape.
Well,
save a little energy too.
No,
almost every minute.
No, what happened, Ray, was that when they started the game, Kai was the point guard, and the ball was in his hands that whole beginning of the game. And then when he traded out and he in the second quarter and he put Luddy in the basketball game, then Drew went to point and Luddy went to the off guard spots. And so now that Kai's back, he's going back to the point guard spot. And Drew actually is out of the basketball game at this point.
Nice pass. Oh.
Nice backdoor. It's a nice backdoor screen for Kanye Stevens.
He was just buried under the backboard a little bit there by the time he got it. That was a tough angle.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about Patterson Mill, though, is I feel like they've got 2 point guards on the court at all times. They've got 2 guards that can handle the ball very well.
What they have is they designate a point guard, and it has been at this point Gibson to start, and then they gave it to Pape for a bit. And then he brought Luddy in and gave it to Luddy and moved Pape. So really what they're doing is putting Pape in different places, so you have to defend him in different ways, which really helps their offense.
That's smart coaching.
Take him. There you go. Wow.
Oh, man.
Did everything right except put the ball in the basket.
2 teammates fighting for the same ball there, unfortunately. Well,
yeah.
We've had a lot of big men barely misses down low right now.
Yeah.
This game could be a lot more high scoring. Yes. I think the JV game's going to outscore this game there, Bob. Okay.
There's Fields with that open jumper. He's
wow. Hustle put back. Yep. Got to give Fallston credit on keeping that ball alive on the boards.
Yeah, that's what's been happening. That's what happened to them in the first half. Is Patterson Mill got a lot of second, third shots, and now they're just getting another play here. Nice shot of the cheerleaders, Patterson Mill cheerleaders there for the fans. On the
yeah. Well, not quite able to make the last couple threes.
Yeah.
Well, we're down to a 1-point game here with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. That's couldn't ask for a better game.
There
nice
you go.
Pass by Drew Pape, down low. Got their
nice screen by Colin Reynolds to catch the basketball, seal off his man, and put the ball in the basket.
Okay, looks like we have a foul on Kanye Stevens, fighting for the rebound.
Paul Kvek has done a really nice job for this basketball team. He's done the dirty work underneath, and he's an outside shooter, but since he's a taller guy, he almost has to play inside sometimes. Nice screen right there, and look inside.
Nice See if Drew can make it all the way to the basket. He's fouled. Call that on the floor.
That was a good foul, I think.
Yes.
I don't think he was. I don't think they're going to call him shooting.
Nope.
So
you know, right there, you figure Drew Pape's going to make that. So that's a good foul if you have fouls to give.
Yep.
You're already down by 3. You don't want to get down by 5 or more. See what kind of play they run here on the inbound, Bob.
Right there, the man in the middle.
Wow. Oh, surprised he didn't go to the basket with that. Okay.
He just hit Kai Gibson for the 3.
Yeah. He's feeling it now.
Oh, yeah. He'll be proud of himself here. He's doing a nice job for a 9th grader.
Drew almost getting a steal there. Now we got another steal.
Okay.
Oh, he thought about the slam, but okay.
I think he got away with an offensive push there.
So Drew Pape goes in for the basket, barely misses it, hustles back for the basket again, gets a putback. Now he's going to line for a 3-point play. This would go quickly from a possible 3-point game to a 9-point game that fast.
It only takes a run.
Yeah, there it is.
And that's the problem with basketball. If you shut it down.
Oh, I would have attacked there. Yeah, he still got it.
Yeah, he did. I agree. I would have attacked. And I would have hoped for the 3-point play.
Well, he still put it in there. It was very smooth.
Yep.
That was
Mackay
again?
Mackay, yep. Nice pass down the court to him. So we got a timeout with 2:15 left, and the score 33 for the Huskies and 26 for the Fallston Cougars.
So what adjustments you making here if you're Fallston here, Bob? You just had a 9-2 run, almost like a 11-4 run there.
Well,
okay, let's see this play again here. Okay, we have
Gibson makes the pass up. We missed the shot here. Gibson gets the rebound. He gets back, but right here it looks to me like, no,
he was clean.
No, he was good. He was clean. I thought he leaned that shoulder in. He got fouled and made the free throw, and so he got the 3-pointer, and it went up to 33-24 at the time, and then Fallston came down and hit a shot to make it 33-26.
So do you see any adjustments you would make if you were either?
Well, if I'm the Fallston coach right now, I will tell you this. My best shooter is going to get a clean look at the basket.
Right.
Because I don't want to get any further behind. And we're going to have to play. We're going to have a defensive stop, even if we make the shot and cut the score. You know, we've got to have a run here for 2 minutes and 15 seconds, where we play good defense, we rebound, and take good shots, and get our players who have the best chance of scoring the ball.
So right now, if you're Patterson Mill, the coach is telling you to be smart with the ball. You know, you got a 7-point lead. Let's not have any unnecessary turnovers. And as soon as they say that, we have one. Wow.
Now he's left-handed, so that was on his strong side.
Chris Snelly did a good job there. I thought he actually buried himself under the basket there too far, but he still snuck that in. Block shot by number 35, Paul Beck.
Now this is a big chance for Fallston here.
Yes, they need a little mini run here.
Yep.
Nice
there you
drive
go.
by number 3, Kyle Sturgis.
Yep.
I love that teardrop shot.
We also had a nice defensive play at the other end.
Yes.
So we just got 6 points, 6 straight points scored coming out of the timeout. So give Colt Hulk credit, man. He got them to do what he wanted them to do, and they got a 6-0 run for it.
So now you got Coach Clark over there in their team's ear saying, gentlemen, we just had a really good 5 minutes. What was up with that last 1 minute?
Yeah, we just gave up 6 points, guys. They just scored 6 straight points. We were up 9, and now we're up 3. Now we got a minute and 15 seconds. We need to be smart. Now, if I make sure that either Pape or Reynolds next to the basket gets the ball. Again, we need a good shot, and then we better go down and play defense at the other end and not give up anything. The end of the halves and the beginning of the halves are usually the most crucial parts in the basketball game.
Yes, they are. You got a situation here with 1:15 to go in the quarter. You probably have time for 3, maybe 4 possessions. Let's see what happens if they'll do a 2-for-1 here.
Well, here we go. Drew has the basketball. He lost that ball underneath, and Paul Quebec picks it up, and here they come. Fallston's down the ends.
Nice drive.
Sturgis takes the ball to the basket. They score. Now it's an 8-0 run, and it's a 1-point game. Will Fallston get another stop?
That should be. Oh, I thought he bounced that ball on the floor twice and then
well, I think
picked it up. Okay. Now we've got a jump ball.
Yeah, it's a jump ball. It's Patterson Mills' ball. They're thankful for that, but there's 38.8 seconds left, and there's 14 on the shot clock here.
Dylan Chris is doing a lot of unsung things.
Yes, he is.
The opponent showed him the ball. He tied it up. Now they get the next jump ball situation just because of that.
.28 seconds left. The shot clock is almost the same.
So let's see if they'll hold for this shot.
It would make sense.
Coach is telling them right now. Luckily, he was close enough.
He forced that in there, and that's going to cost them.
Okay, Drew Pape on the drive, drawing the foul here, going to the line.
Normally, I would have wanted him to hold the basketball up because there's 9 seconds left and take the last shot. But when we got a 2-on-1 break, you got to go to the basket.
I was actually thinking that as he was doing it, Bob. I was thinking, is he going to pull up? But when you got a 2-on-1, you're going to probably get a good chance here. Drew's got to be exhausted.
Kanye Stevens in the ball game here for, looks like Jackson Wheeler. Maybe they want to protect Wheeler.
Have we seen Drew Pape go off the court yet, or has he played the whole game?
No, he went off.
Did he go once? Okay.
I don't think it was long. Look at that pass.
Oh, good try. Full court throw. Okay.
Now, there's a situation where a kid's guarding another player under the basket, and he's not looking at the basketball.
Right.
And the ball sails all the way down the court past his head, and the offensive man catches it past his head and laid it up. He just missed a shot.
Right.
But normally that shot's going to go in, and you cost 2 seconds because you're not looking at the basketball 94 feet from it, and still being able to see your man.
So again, a bunch of runs for each team. You know, we had a 9-point lead at one point, now down to only 2. So now you're making your third quarter adjustments. So you're also looking at, I think there was a lot of fouls that quarter, both ways.
Yes.
So there was a lot of players with only 1 or 2 at the half.
Well, Patterson Mill only had 2 fouls that quarter.
Yeah.
And Fallston had more than 7 or more.
Yes. So I'm worried about Fallston's foul situation. So we could be talking about a very strategic subbing for the coach.
Well, one thing that I want to say for both coaches is that every time that there's been a timeout when their team has had a run against them, they've done a very nice job of getting their players to come back out and executing for them the next minute or two and bringing themselves back to make sure that the game isn't going to be a runaway one way or the other. So the coaches have done a nice job in that respect. If I could read that.
No. That was yes.
Well, we only see 2. We only saw.
So I'm going to try to see if we can find out the foul situation for Fallston. Needs a little help there, teammates.
Yeah.
So when I coached some basketball, Bob, that used to be one of my pet peeves as a coach. I didn't coach high school at your level. I coached a lot of travel and a little bit of AAU. And I used to tell my players, your teammate got a rebound, they have pressure on them, don't run away from them.
Well,
and right there that time, unfortunately, he got bailed out with a foul, but he had 3 people circling him. almost lost the ball there until he was fouled.
Well, every coach teaches different things, and I mean, when I was at Aberdeen, we always had 2 kids designated to run through certain spots on offense.
Right.
So if our guy got the rebounds, he knew that there were people going to be in certain spots, and then we taught our kids to come back to the ball instead of standing there. So Luddy just got fouled, and he just made the first free throw. It's a 3-point game. Now it's a 4-point game.
Yeah, that was smooth shots there.
He's done a really nice job for them. I think they play a little more under control with him playing at times.
Definitely. They're saying that ball touched last by Patterson Mill. Now we've had a couple baskets scored, Bob, right off of inbound. So I love to see when they get the good cutter going to the basket.
Well, Fallston's been running this circle play a lot from out of bounds to swing the ball all the way back around and screen the backside guy, the out of bounds guy, and they've gotten a basket from it.
This is a good defensive stand here, making them use up most of the shot clock. Wow, wow. That's frustrating on Patterson Mill.
The only problem I have as a coach on that is that if you're going to allow the kid to get to the baseline like that, you've got to step in front of him and take a charge, because he's going to be out of control. You got to get there and Rickert jumped towards the basket. If you'd have been there, he'd have charged you, and you've been going down the other end. You got to have the willingness to do that.
Well, my other frustration there is for 25 seconds, you kept them making passes on the perimeter, and then you let them cut to the basket.
Well, that happens.
6 seconds, yeah.
University of Michigan, way back when, used to call that bloody nose lane. And even though the colors of Michigan are blue, they painted the lane red back then.
So we're under 7 minutes with a 2-point game here.
And their theory was you couldn't see the blood in the red lane.
I said it earlier, but I'm going to say it again. Foul shots and fouls are going to probably have an impact here.
Yeah, they have an impact in every game.
Yeah.
The good drive. He didn't finish. Paul Kvek down the other end. Nice pass. Jackson Wheeler. Oh, no. Dylan. No, Jackson Wheeler. No. Who was
23?
Dylan Kreis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why am I getting those 2 mixed up?
Kanye Stevens on the foul.
Very nice pass.
That might be his 3rd or 4th.
It's a tie ball game now again.
Yeah.
Jackson Wheeler's, or Dylan Kreis is left-handed. Man goes to the basket left-handed, and he.
Okay, the first lead Fallston's had in a while, Bob.
Yeah.
Low-scoring game here.
This is going to be a very good finishing 4th quarter here. Sorry, Don Morrison's not here. No disrespect, Ray, but this is the kind of game that Don lives for and gets excited about.
Yes, he's home watching right now, and I'm sure he's enjoying it.
And we know he's feeling better.
Yep. A little too much on that pass there.
Yeah, I can't say. In high school at Edgewood one time, I threw a pass that actually hit the scoreboard on a play like that. Wasn't feeling well that night, but there was no excuse for that.
Don's like the Cal Ripken of broadcasting. He's missed very little. He's there almost all the time, right?
He's the healthiest man I know, except for this problem he's had. So,
how many years have you been doing this now? 30, 35 years? That's incredible.
Since Santa Claus, I think.
Don, he didn't mean it.
I think I remember being a little kid watching him on the.
He's a man of many sports that he has great knowledge in.
What a great man in Harford County high school sports. He's done so many things over his years, from his time at the Aegis to his time with the Harford Network. And Fallston's up 2 again.
Yes, they are.
And 5:43 left in the game. Tate with the ball.
Yeah, they're giving Kai a break here.
Nice screen. Ooh. They had the pick and roll, just didn't make the pass. Reynolds has the ball inside.
They really haven't gotten many inside buckets lately.
No.
Big men.
Nate Decker has played pretty much all the second half for Fallston and done a very nice job for them.
There we go. Still here.
Wow.
Whoops. A little too fast.
Theo Dreyer did a great job stealing that basketball, and there he goes again. Look up.
Nope.
Good save.
Slow it down.
Ooh, I thought that was a double dribble.
I did too. It's the second time I think they put the ball on the floor and then put it up again.
Now he's going to shoot. Now he called that in the air, and I swear he was on the ground that time. But hey, I'm further away than the official, so we'll go with the official.
So Drew getting ready after this timeout to go to the line for
Here we go.
free throws.
Fallston coach is upset about something at the score table.
I think he's still disappointed in that foul call there too. And let's see if that's one of his players that had a lot of fouls. So Don correcting us here. He's only been doing this for 29 years. He doesn't want to make us make him any older than he is. Apologize, Don.
He doesn't want to upset Santa, really, is what the real story is.
So now we're gonna find out now who's the clutch player here. I mean,
well, there's a lot on both sides here that can step up and do it. This has turned into a very good basketball game.
Yes, it has.
Paul Kvek for Fallston has stepped up very well. Pape obviously has played well the whole time. Jackson Wheeler has had a nice. Rickards played well for Fallston. I thought Nate Decker coming in has made a difference. Patterson Mill, I thought Luddy has made a difference in the half.
Now we got a little bit of press here.
Reynolds has played well in spurts. Missed some shots I think he'd like to have back.
Fighting for the ball on the ground.
It's a nice hit by Luddy. Took the Fallston player out of bounds with the ball, so he gets the ball.
So now they have a chance to take the lead here with 4:35 to go.
Yep. 1 point game. Luddy with the basketball. To Dreyer. They're running that 5-man motion. Is the ball going inside to Pape? Not yet. Ooh, there he is.
That's time on the
there
shot
he is.
clock
Ball's
here.
in the paint to him now. There it is.
Nice body position by Drew Pape.
Yep, they were working that ball until they got Pape inside to get that ball, and when they gave it to him, he finished. Nice call by Coach Clark in the last timeout. Ooh.
Putting up a three?
Ooh.
Wow.
Not only putting it up,
Man in his
but
face.
putting it in the baskets. Dylan Price. Nice play. He's been picking it up in the last quarter and a half, so there's Pape again inside.
Oh, block shot.
Yeah, well, he's a little off balance at times somehow.
Oh, he wants to do it again. Nice body position on the rebound there for Jackson Wheeler.
Now you get it to your shooter, and they had their shooter. They had the guy they wanted wide open.
Drew going for another layup, and he's up and
Inside
in.
again.
He's getting good body position now.
Yeah, and he's got a little size on the player playing him, and he's taking advantage of it. There we go. Jackson Wheeler taking the charge, putting himself in a great position, the willingness to take the charge.
Now we got Mackay Fields coming back in the game for Kyle Sturgis. Wow, 2:48, 41-41.
It's everything we could ask for, right?
So now I'm looking at the foul situation here, and doesn't look like either team is too bad, but, you know, with 5 fouls for Fallston.
Well, I don't know how
They're
they
a
have
little
them. They have 10 fouls up now.
Okay, let's see the replay on this play here.
Here's the screen up.
Good position,
Oh,
taking that foul. That's a great play.
yeah. You got to get yourself. Sturgis got to be a little under control on that. He has to stop
Yeah.
in front of him and take the shot up over his head, or give the pass, because there's only one result if you keep going when the guy's square like that.
So Patterson Mill just needs to draw 2 more fouls from Fallston to get to the bonus.
1-1. Yep.
Um,
And Patterson Mill will be shooting 2 shots on any free throws now, because they're in the extra bonus now.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong number there on the board there.
So
I'll make fun of myself here.
Drew Reynolds, Jackson Wheeler, Pape, and Luddy are on the floor for Patterson Mill, and Paul Kvek and Dylan Kreis and McKay Fields, Max Rickert, and Nate Decker on the court for Fallston.
We may have just had a second player foul out for Fallston too. So
There's
nice shot.
3-point shot. It looked like it was Drew Pape.
Yes, it is. Drew's filling up the buckets
We're
here.
having a problem right now at the Patterson Mill end, because all the Patterson Mill students are standing up in front of us and looking, and we're looking at the monitor, but they're blocking us from a section of, even from the monitor, from seeing it. So look inside. Oh, you missed them.
Here we go again. That's the person they want.
Nice hustle by Kvek. Wow.
That was a great rebound. Another 3.
That's off.
Yeah.
Now you can hear the Patterson Mill students.
Now they're getting into it.
They only have 1:52 left to get excited, so come on. Crowd, get into this.
That's right. Your team needs you. Okay, Drew back with the ball again. Putting up a 3. Not quite. What a rebound. Good block out.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey,
Nice
reset the
pullback
clock.
by Jackson Wheeler to pull it out, reset.
Yeah.
129. The Huskies up 3 here, and they have the basketball.
Yeah, they definitely want to use clock here.
Now
Teams are probably getting low on timeouts here.
there's 27 seconds left now in their shot clock, so they've got plenty of time to.
So the Huskies only have 1 timeout left in this next minute 29. They're going to have to use it selectively.
And Fallston has 2.
So now here, do you want to use up at least 20 seconds of this shot clock before you make your play with a 3-point lead, knowing that if you get 1 more bucket, you're up 2 scores?
Now I want to run a play that I get either a layup, or I get my best player with the basketball next to the basket, or wide open for the 3 with my best player.
And if it's not there, rework it, then try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you get a rebound, you pull it back out. And you know, sometimes I think in the situations you work it down to the last 5 seconds, and something happens, you don't even get a shot.
Yeah.
And now you're up 3, which is only 1 possession if they hit the 3.
I agree.
And
It's kind of a catch-22. You'd like to be able to milk 15 seconds off, but to your point, you don't want to.
Tell me I can milk 25 seconds off and score, and I'll take it. You know, but if you're not going to guarantee me that, then we've got to do some things.
No, not in a low-scoring game like this. Points have been hard to come by tonight.
Okay, so it looks like the same lineup. Pape and Reynolds and Luddy and Drewier. No, and Drewier and Jackson Wheeler are the 5 for Patterson Mill, and it looks like Kreis and Pivak and McKay Fields. I'm sure Rickert is on, and Max Rickert has to be on the floor for them, and Nate Decker is on the floor for them. The official gives the ball to Jackson Wheeler, and we're off. Now, I would be looking for Pape in the post.
Yeah, I would too.
Now he's up top.
He is up top.
There he
Cut
goes
low
now.
He needs to get body position.
There, ooh. 9 seconds left on the shot clock.
There we go from the outside. Oh, big bucket.
Jackson Wheeler with the 3.
That's a big bucket.
Or I'd look for Jackson Wheeler for the 3 way outside.
6-point
That was a
lead.
good looking shot.
Well, you know what? They were focused so much on not letting Drew Pape get inside. What a clutch basket.
Nice play.
Mackay Fields on the 3, following up the other 3, giving his team a chance there.
I was told that Fields was a little bit raw. He doesn't look raw to me. I mean, he's done some really nice things today.
They're calling that one a 2, though. He must have had his toes.
Yeah,
on the
he
line.
came inside on that.
Oh, steal.
Yep.
Whoops.
I might have blown my
They might
timeout
need
on
to-
that.
Yeah, they might need to put one up here because they're down 4. They got a foul.
The question was he fouled on that or not? On that steal.
Sure. Now we're seeing the Patterson Mill fans getting a little bit louder.
4-point game, 47-43, 24.7 seconds left. Timeout, 1 timeout for Patterson Mill, 2 timeouts for Fallston. 10 fouls on Fallston, 5 on Patterson Mill. Fallston is not, like Ray said earlier, they need a second foul to get into the 1-on-1 even.
Yeah.
So Patterson Mill can selectively foul down here, and Luddy hits the free throw to make it a 5-point game. And now we get a timeout by, I'm sure, by Fallston.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think Coach Clark would probably be saving his timeout for the next possession.
Yeah, timeout Fallston, the official finally says. And so now they're down to 1 timeout each with 24.7 left.
So you've been here a million times, Bob. Do you do a soft half-court press to make them take longer to put the ball down court? Not one where you're going to draw a foul, but one where you're just going to make them start to dribble at the foul line?
I always, when I was in high school, we've always had a soft press, a 2-2-1 to make the team have to at least pass the ball back around a little bit. You know, even though we're in a 2-2-1 and the middle's an open area, we really take away the middle and either make you throw it deep. And I've always had an athlete back who could go get the basketball, you know, who had size and could run and jump and, you know, and take that away. And then when we got over half court, we picked up man again and did what we do best, and play defense what we do best. And the rule then is you don't foul anybody, you know, and you don't give up an easy shot. But you better not foul them.
Well, I would say, without having the exact stats here, that Drew Pape has to be the leading scorer of the game. He had 10 at the half, and he is.
Well, they focus in more on getting him the basketball.
Oh,
Boy, that rebound hurt. That hurt Fallston. There's a foul on Fallston on Pavek, and Jackson Wheeler is going to go to the line here.
Well, he seems upset on the foul being called, but with down by 5 with 22 seconds left, you have to foul.
Well, you do after that, but you don't give up the rebounds. I mean, if you're Fallston, you've got all the advantage. You've got to be in the right spot for the rebounds. What happened was, obviously the kid's job was to take away the shooter. But before you take away the shooter, you got to look up and see that ball hits, because you can get to the shooter still, and make sure it doesn't come back over your head. Because if it comes over your head, both the shooter and the kid in the second spot can go get that ball.
And Fallston's also dropping back defenders and not putting as many down low. So
well, this is Patterson Mill has all their defenders back now. Now he's only putting the 1 kid in the box. I don't know why. Because you can always get an offensive foul in that spot.
6-point lead. They need 2 threes here in 20 seconds.
And a stop, and you need at least 3 possessions here.
Somebody needs you give up the 2. You give up the 2. That was good defense on Patterson.
Excellent.
They took away the perimeter and basically said, if you want two with
Right.
6-point deficit and down under 20
Well,
seconds, you can have it.
I mean, they even played good defense for the most part on the kid who scored. So they didn't, it wasn't like I'm going to give you this shot. You got to you got to catch it and then you got to put it up and make it, and they did. But
now
time came off the clock.
Fallston needs a big stop here.
Well, if I'm Fallston right now, I either try to get the steal right away,
Right.
and if I can't get the steal, I foul right away, because 11 seconds you don't have. And when you foul, there better be like still 10-point-something seconds left on the clock.
Well, last year, Bob, they played each other twice, and one game was like this. It was a 6-point win for Fallston. I'm sorry, Patterson Mill. The other game was a bigger deficit. So, I'm very impressed with Fallston for being this aggressive. Man, they were good on the boards. So, right now their aggression needs to get a quick steal. And if you steal it right away, don't you have to have somebody ready to kick out?
Oh, you have somebody either cutting to the basket to score or standing at 3-point waiting to shoot, or doing that.
Yep.
But I know the one thing is, if I think the other team has a really good free throw shooter, I'm not letting him catch the basketball. I'm going to get in front of him and do everything I can to make him do something different. And now if he knocks these 2 free throws down, it's 10.3 seconds, and you're down by 6, and then you're back to where you were when it was 11.8 seconds. So. And under pressure, he makes the free throw.
He's had a very good second half.
Yeah, he has.
Clutch. Very good.
Now you got to play defense. Make him take time off the clock. Uh-oh. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. 51 Patterson Mill, 45 for Fallston. Ray?
That was a great game. I mean, if they actually had to pay admission, it would have been worth it, right?
If I'd have had to pay admission, it would have been worth it. And that's saying, if Don Morrison had to pay admission, the game would have been worth it.
That's right. So Fallston goes to 0-1 by the very hard-fought game, and I think their coach is going to be happy with the effort. I mean, he had some players get in foul trouble, which affected the game, and probably affected the game late, because I saw a few players going out late in the game also, because they had a lot of fouls in the second half as well. Patterson Mill, they're a youngish team too, so they're learning. They have a lot of good players up in the JV.
Yeah, but let's say this: he had some kids on. I get on Jarrett, but Jarrett had some kids on the bench last year who didn't start ahead of the good kids he had playing last year, right? But they were pretty decent basketball players, and you saw them play tonight. And kids. I mean, Pape was a sophomore last year. He's a junior. He'll be back next year. Okay.
So one thing I'm going to find out here is I'm going to see how many opponents Pape had, because he really took off in that second half.
Yeah.
So what is your what do you feel about the potential of these two teams, Bob?
Well, I feel that Fallston has come a long way from where they were 2 years ago. They had a pretty good year last year, and they finished 14-8, like we said. And then all of a sudden this year, I was really curious to see them, and I think a couple things has happened. I think Coach Hulka, giving him props here. I mean, they're playing defense, and they're working very, very hard defensively, and they're holding a good team down here, points-wise. They need to work on their basketball acumen a little bit. You can't foul out. You can't have 4 fouls in the first half and foul out early in the second half.
Right.
I mean, that has to be addressed and worked on. And when you're playing man defense, you got to block out. You got to get your kids to learn to turn and block people out, or else, the ball can go to taller teams or quicker teams. But he's done a really good job. They've come a long way. I'm impressed with them. They've got a chance to be really successful this year. Coach Clark's team I've always been impressed with Patterson Mill. I've always liked the way they played. And I think Coach Clark has done a fantastic job as a coach. So I really like watching them play. They played pretty good defense. They got smarter down the second half, and the veteran situation is that they went to their money down the second half, and Drew Pape scored for them. Jackson Wheeler scored for them. For Fallston, Coach Hulka went to his money. Dylan Kreis got better in the second half, really played very well. He got a good basketball game out of McKay Fields. I thought Paul Kvek was consistent for him. Max Rickard hustled, gave him some things. I thought Nate Decker came off the bench and didn't hurt them.
No.
And that's important for a player in his position not to hurt them. And he didn't give up. He didn't turn the ball over or do stupid things.
It looks like Drew Kreis was probably their leading scorer for Fallston with 13 points, right around there. But they had more balanced scoring.
They did. Rickard scored well, and Kvek scored well.
Now Drew Pape
and McKay Fields scored well.
Drew Pape finished the game with 25 points. Again, final score here, we had Patterson winning by 6 points in a close, tight game. We want to thank you for watching, and we are saying I look forward to the next telecast that we have. We are very happy to have given you this game from Harvard TV. I'm Ray Cruz. Thank you to my partner Bob McCone, and have a good evening.